What if I told you that the reason you're still not rich has absolutely nothing to do with how hard you work, how much you earn, or even how smart you are? It's not about luck. It's not about who you know. It's about one invisible force that controls your financial life: your mindset. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, spent his life studying why some people become wealthy while others stay stuck, no matter how hard they try. And his biggest discovery wasn't about money. It was about thinking. He had two father figures. One was highly educated, worked his whole life, and died in debt. The other dropped out of school, but built multiple businesses and became a millionaire. Same era, same city, same challenges, but completely different outcomes. Why? Because one had a poor mindset, and the other had a rich mindset. And here's the shocking truth. Most people are taught to think like the poor. Go to school, get a job, save money, avoid risk. But that path doesn't lead to wealth. It leads to survival. In this video, I'm going to break down the 7 fundamental differences between the rich and poor mindset, based on Kiyosaki's teachings, real-life examples, and what actually works in 2025. This isn't just theory. This is a mental upgrade. If you're tired of working hard but going nowhere, if you're ready to break free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle, then keep watching. Because in the next 20 minutes, you'll learn how to think like the wealthy. And that's the first step to becoming one. A mindset isn't just about being positive or saying affirmations in the mirror. It's deeper than that. Your mindset is your automatic response to money, opportunity, fear, and failure. It's the invisible programming that runs in the background of your mind every single day. Think about it. When you hear about someone making $10,000 a month online, what's your first thought? Do you say, "That's fake," or "They must be scamming people"? Or do you say, "How can I learn that"? That instant reaction, before you even think, that's your mindset. Robert Kiyosaki realized this early in life. He had 2 dads. His real dad, the poor dad, was a highly educated man with a PhD, worked in the government, believed in job security, and always said, "Go to school, get good grades, and find a safe job." But despite his intelligence, he struggled financially his entire life. Then there was his best friend's dad, the rich dad, who didn't finish high school, but owned businesses, invested in real estate, and taught Kiyosaki how money really works. By age 30, Rich Dad was a multimillionaire. Same city, same economy, but completely different results. Why? Because one man believed money comes from working, and the other believed money comes from owning. One saw taxes as a burden. The other saw them as a tool. One feared risk. The other mastered it. That's the power of mindset. It's not about intelligence. It's about perspective. And the good news? You can change your mindset. You can reprogram your thinking. But first, you have to become aware of it. So before we talk about strategies, investments, or side hustles, we have to fix the foundation: your thinking. Because if your mindset is poor, no amount of money will make you rich. Let's talk about the number 1 difference. And this one will change everything. The poor buy liabilities and call them assets. The rich buy real assets and protect them. This is the core principle of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Kiyosaki says, "An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out." That's it. Simple, but most people get it backwards. Let me give you a real-life example. Imagine 2 people, both earning $5,000 a month. Person A gets a bonus and buys a new luxury car for $60,000. Loan, insurance, gas, Maintenance, that's $900 a month going out. They say, I deserve this. I worked hard. But that car is not an asset. It's a liability. It costs money every month and loses value over time. Now, person B gets the same bonus. Instead of a car, they use it as a down payment on a small apartment. They rent it out for $1,500 a month. After mortgage and expenses, they make $300 profit every month. That's money coming in, not going out. That's an asset. Over 10 years, that apartment appreciates in value, pays off the loan, and keeps generating income. Meanwhile, person A's car is worth $10,000 and still costs money to maintain. Who's wealthier? The one with the shiny car or the one with the income-generating property? The poor mindset focuses on looking rich. The rich mindset focuses on being rich. And here's the truth. Your house, if it has a mortgage and costs you money, it's not an asset. It's a liability. Your car? A liability. Your phone? A liability. But a rental property, dividend stocks, a business, a YouTube channel, those are assets. So ask yourself, what am I buying that takes money out of my pocket? And what can I buy that will eventually put money in, even while I sleep? The second difference is this: the poor avoid risk. The rich avoid ignorance. Most people say, investing is too risky, or I don't want to lose my money. But Kiyosaki says the real risk isn't investing. It's not knowing what you're doing. Think about driving. If you've never driven, it seems dangerous. But after lessons, practice, and experience, it becomes normal. Money is the same. The poor mindset says, I'm scared. The rich mindset says, what do I need to learn? The rich don't take blind risks. They take calculated risks. After studying, practicing, and educating themselves, they read books, listen to podcasts, follow successful investors, and start small. They understand that failure is part of the process. But the poor, they avoid everything: stocks, real estate, crypto, businesses, because they don't understand it. And here's the irony. Keeping your money in a bank at 1% interest while inflation is 5%, that's not safe. That's losing money slowly. Real safety comes from knowledge. Kiyosaki says, the size of your wealth is determined by how well you handle risk and uncertainty. So don't avoid risk. Avoid ignorance. Learn about cash flow, taxes, assets, and investing. Take small, smart steps. Build confidence through education. That's how you move from fear to freedom. The third difference: the poor work for money. The rich make money work for them. Most people are stuck in what Kiyosaki calls the rat race. You work 8 hours, get paid, pay bills, work again. It's like running on a treadmill. Lots of effort, but you're not moving forward. And the worst part? The more you earn, the more you spend. You get a raise, so you upgrade your car, your house, your lifestyle. But your debt goes up too. You're still trapped. Why? Because your income depends on your time. No work equals no money. But the rich don't trade time for money. They build systems. They own assets. They create income that doesn't depend on them showing up. Think about Warren Buffett. He doesn't go to an office every day. His money works for him through stocks, dividends, and investments. He earns while he sleeps. That's the goal. Kiyosaki says, the richest people focus on their asset column, not their income column. So ask yourself, how many of your income streams will still pay you if you get sick for a month? If the answer is 0, you're still in the rat race. The good news? You can start small. Save $100. Buy a stock that pays dividends. Have a skill? Teach it online. Start a side hustle. Every dollar you invest in an asset is like hiring a worker to make money for you, 24/7. The poor work harder. The rich build smarter. And in 2025, the game isn't about how hard you work. It's about how well you think. The fourth difference: the poor blame the world. The rich take full responsibility. Listen to everyday conversations. Taxes are too high. The economy is bad. My boss doesn't appreciate me. I don't have time. These are victim statements. And every time you say them, you give away your power. Kiyosaki says, if you want to be rich, you must take 100% responsibility for your financial life. That means no blaming the government, your parents, or your past. Why? Because the moment you blame, you stop looking for solutions. But when you say, this is on me, you gain the power to change it. Example, you don't have money? Instead of saying, I'm broke, ask, what skill can I learn to earn more? What side hustle can I start this week? How can I save $50 a month to invest? The rich don't have perfect lives. They face setbacks, failures, and rejections. But they never stop asking, what's my next move? They don't wait for permission. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They take action. They learn. They grow. And that's why they win. So stop blaming. Start owning. Your financial future isn't controlled by the economy. It's controlled by your choices. The fifth difference: the poor want fast results. The rich think in decades. We live in an instant world. Fast food, instant messages, quick fame. But real wealth is built slowly, like planting a tree. The first few years, nothing happens. But in year 10, you get shade. In year 20, you get fruit. The poor trade long-term freedom for short-term comfort. They buy the new phone, the designer clothes, the vacation on credit, even if it means more debt. The rich delay gratification. They'd rather be uncomfortable today for freedom tomorrow. Kiyosaki says, the wealthy focus on their asset column, not their spending column. They invest first, spend later. They'd rather own a business than a luxury car. They understand that time is their greatest ally. Compounding doesn't work overnight, but it works incredibly well over time. So ask yourself, am I building a life of temporary pleasure or lasting freedom? What would your future self thank you for doing right now? Saving, learning, starting a side hustle? The rich don't hate luxury, they just buy it after they've built assets. And that's the key. Delayed gratification isn't deprivation, it's investment. Most people believe that school is the path to success. They think, go to college, get a degree, find a job, work for 40 years, retire. But Robert Kiyosaki says something shocking. School teaches you to be a good employee, not a rich investor or entrepreneur. Think about it. Did you ever take a class on taxes, on cash flow, on how to buy real estate, on building a business, on understanding the stock market? Most people haven't. And that's the problem. The education system prepares you to survive, not to thrive. It teaches you to work for money, not to make money work for you. But the rich don't rely on the system to teach them about wealth. They become self-taught. Kiyosaki himself dropped out of college, but he never stopped learning. In fact, he says that's when his real education began. He spent years studying how the rich think, how they invest, how they use debt as a tool, and how they protect their money. He didn't learn this in school. He learned it from experience, books, and mentors. And that's the key. The richest people in the world are lifelong learners. Warren Buffett reads 500 pages a day. Elon Musk taught himself physics and engineering by reading textbooks. Oprah Winfrey says books changed her life. Your mind is your most powerful asset, but only if you feed it. The poor mindset says, I'm too busy to learn. The rich mindset says, I'm too busy not to learn. So ask yourself, when was the last time you spent 1 full hour learning about money? Not entertainment, not gossip, not scrolling, real learning, a book, a course, a podcast. 1 hour a week can change your financial future. Start small. Read 1 chapter of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Watch 1 interview with a successful investor. Follow 1 financial educator. Knowledge isn't just power, it compounds. The more you learn, the more you earn. The more you understand, the more you grow. And in 2025, information is free, but wisdom is priceless. Don't wait for a diploma to give you permission to get rich. Take responsibility for your own education, because the person who learns the most wins. The final and most powerful difference is this: the poor play not to lose. The rich play to win. This isn't just about money. It's about your entire approach to life. The poor mindset is focused on safety. Don't take risks. Don't fail. Don't stand out. They keep their money in the bank, earning almost nothing, just to feel secure. But here's the truth. Security is an illusion. While you're hiding from risk, inflation is quietly stealing your money. Your savings lose value every year. Meanwhile, the rich are playing a different game. They don't avoid risk, they manage it. They know that every great success comes with failure along the way. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for TV, but they didn't quit. They played to win. Kiyosaki says, the size of your success is measured by the strength of your desire, not by the absence of failure. The poor mindset says, I can't afford to lose. The rich mindset says, I can't afford not to try. They start businesses. They invest in real estate. They launch products. They put themselves out there, even when they're scared. And yes, they fail. But every failure is a lesson. Every mistake is feedback. They don't see loss as the end. They see it as part of the process. The poor protect their ego. The rich protect their vision. And here's the biggest difference. The poor define winning as not losing money. The rich define winning as gaining freedom, knowledge, and growth. So ask yourself, are you playing not to lose, stuck in fear, avoiding action? Or are you playing to win, taking smart risks, learning fast, and moving forward? In 2025, the world doesn't reward the safest player. It rewards the boldest thinker, the one who dares, the one who learns, the one who never gives up. That's the rich mindset. And that's the mindset of a winner. Let me ask you something deeply personal. What kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to be 60 years old, still working, still stressed about money, wishing you had started earlier? Or do you want to be free? Free to travel, free to spend time with family, free to work on what you love, not what you have to do. Because here's the truth. Your financial future isn't determined by your income, it's determined by your mindset. You don't need more money to start thinking like the rich. You just need to start thinking like the rich today. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, become a mindset detective. Every time you catch yourself thinking like the poor, I can't afford it, it's too risky, I'm not ready. Pause. Replace it with a rich mindset thought. How can I afford it? What do I need to learn? What's one small step I can take right now? These small shifts in thinking will lead to massive shifts in results. Remember, rich people aren't smarter. They're not luckier. They just think differently, and they act. If you found this video valuable, I need you to do 3 things. First, like this video. It tells the algorithm this message matters. Second, share it with someone you'll be who's stuck in the rat race, because this could be the wake-up call they've been waiting for. And third, follow this channel, because we're just getting started. The world is changing fast. In 2025, the gap between the rich and the poor isn't just about money, it's about mindset. And you now have the keys. So don't just watch, don't just agree. Act. Start small. Buy your first stock. Read your first financial book. Launch your first side hustle. Every giant oak tree started as a tiny seed. This is your seed. This is your moment. Stay hungry. Stay curious. Stay relentless. And start thinking like the rich. Starting today. This is your future. Now go build it.